It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd. How is everyone doing? Shana Tova again. It is officially Rosh Hashanah for all my Jewish friends. How is everyone doing today on this warm day here in Los Angeles? It is. It is a warm, muggy day. This is the weather that I'm not really feeling. It's like that hot end of summer. I think it's officially fall. I think we're officially in fall, September 21st, right? Isn't that when fall starts officially? But I'm telling you, it's really, really like yucky. This is like the kind of weather that I'm not into. I love a summer day. I love a spring summer day. I love a 75, 80 max, right? Give me that for now until perpetuity. But this is like when I wanted to already just start to get cold. Now bring me all the pumpkin spice. Bring me not pumpkin spice lattes. I'm sorry, you sue me, but I am not a PSL girl. I don't love a Starbucks PSL. Okay, Andy Cohen, don't try to do your commercials with that smirk of yours. Oh my gosh, I posted about Andy Cohen and his smirk in my Instagram stories. I got yelled at. Donna, why are you so mean? Why are you so mean about Andy Cohen? Like, Andy Cohen is the battle we're going on in life? Andy Cohen? Jeez. Come on. I am going to talk all about oh my God, so many things we have to talk about, you guys. So many things. But yes, pumpkin, I love pumpkin stuff, but especially Trader Joe's pumpkin things. I will tell you, you guys were following me along. I have a bunch of fun snacks from Trader Joe's that I bought. I'm going to show you. These are not pumpkin, but I did go to Trader Joe's and I have my exercise bands. Those are not from Trader Joe's. I'll share with you guys some of my Trader Joe's finds that I'm really excited about in just a second. I have so much to talk to you about. We've really got to get into it. Karen Reed is back in court, but this time she is not defending herself. She is fighting a fight, and she's going after basically the entire town of Canton. It's like the movie is back. We're back. I almost feel like, we were on hiatus between season 1 and season 2, and now we're back. I'm so excited because I kind of miss these characters. Like Jim McCabe, what's up, girl? How's long until we can see all our friends again? I want to see all of them. So we're going to talk a little bit about what happened yesterday in the pretrial hearing. I think it was called a pretrial hearing. Who knows? I did watch while I was cooking last night for the holiday. I did watch a little bit of Peter Tragos, that's lawyer, his coverage. And I'll just give you like a little bit of an update on what's going on with that. Of course, we have a lot of legal updates with the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively trial that is driving me insane. I think I'm losing hair, but I mean, it's a good thing because, I do have Blake Lively's hair to fill in for the hair I'm losing. So I will throw on Blake Lively's hair for the Blake Lively updates today. There's a lot of drama. And yes, Brian Friedman has a smear campaign against him now. There's a website about Brian Friedman up that Ruby Rose posted. It's a lot, y'all. I don't even know where we're going to go with this. I'm so sick of the fights. I'm so sick of the fights. I think we're going to start singing Imagine. I'm going to get some celebrities together and we're going to, pass around our cell phones in the corner of our houses. And we're going to say, imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. Remember how bad their voices were? It's like, don't. Now, oh, yes, Lee, I can use Blake's Mousse. Do you think Blake's Mousse will help my hair loss? Maybe. Or it will cause hair loss, probably. Then, of course, we also have to cover like a pop culture moment in history. And that was Dawson's Creek reunion with some sad news about James Van Der Beek, which really broke my heart. That and more. Everyone, get your sprinklers out. It is time to sprinkler your way through Daily Dose of Donna theme song. Okay, so I'm a Trader Joe's fanatic. I wish Trader Joe's had like some sort of affiliate program, I swear. I would make so much money. I'm constantly going to Trader Joe's. You guys are too. I mean, it's not like I came up with this. It's not like I was like, guys, I have a secret. No one knows about it. It's called Trader Joe's. Okay? This is like a hidden gem. But I was posting about this in my stories the other day. And you guys are like, what? Tell me more. And then my friend Adam, who I host my other podcast with, went on Sunday night to the market to Trader Joe's. And he said, Donna, I can't find, I have to put it right in front of my face so it's not blurry. I can't find any. They're out. Did you do this? And I said, I think I did. But they were back yesterday morning. Milk chocolate gummy bears, milk chocolate covered gummy bears. You guys, these are the shite. So make sure to get them, put them in your fridge. This is the snack, and I have to hide them from my kids. That's how good they are. You know, a snack is good when you have to hide them from your kids. But I also found some other good ones. This is seasonal. I think it's seasonal, and they're bomb. Okay. Freeze-dried strawberry pieces. You know how they do their little freeze-dried like fruits that you can buy for the kids? Like freeze-dried mango, freeze-dried strawberry, freeze-dried blueberry, and they're messy and they're crunchy. And like I used to give them to my babies when they were really, really young. And I always regretted it because they would get all over the fingers and all over their clothes. But I felt like, okay, they're healthy. Well, this is not the healthy version of them because it does have like a yogurt coating. It's almost like a yogurt covered raisin or whatever, but it's got that freeze-dried strawberry inside. They're addictive. They're psychotically good. Okay. They're so good. Get them. And in that same vein of the strawberry, we have strawberry coated almonds. At least these have protein, right? Strawberry yogurt flavored almonds with the strawberry powder on top. And these I already opened in the car. You know, those are good. Okay. So get yourself over to Trader Joe's. And this is just like a little bit of what I bought, but I keep these in my office because I don't want my kids finding them. And that's not because I don't love them. It's just because I need to keep some stuff for myself. Moms, you relate, right? All right. Patricia says that's my fruit for the day. Exactly. You take it where you can get it. Now, and this is, I do work with Groons. So I should put my link in the bio. I do take my Groons every single day. They sit on my desk every day and I take my Groons. Well, I should probably get it back in there next time. I will get my link and I'll put it in my bio at the end of the show so you guys can get your discount on Groons. I'm obsessed with this. My kids also steal these from me, but I'm okay with that because they're so healthy and kids should even eat them every day. And I swear they're amazing for you. Okay, let's move on and let's talk about the show. I want to start with the Dawson's Creek reunion story because it's such a sweet story. Were you guys fans of Dawson's Creek growing up? I loved Dawson's Creek. It wasn't 90210. I'm going to be honest. I was much more of a 90210 fan. Like I was all about Beverly Hills 90210, but Dawson's Creek definitely took like a second place. And of course it was the years of Dawson's Creek were different than Beverly Hills 90210, right? Dawson's Creek, let's see, the years of Dawson's Creek, 1998. So it was, it was much later. I was 17 when Dawson's Creek started, and I was 10, I want to say, when Beverly Hills 90210 started. So I was a lot older. 98 to 03, Shaboogs said. But what was cool is that when I was in casting, I used to be in casting, and I was a casting assistant right when I became a casting associate. So the way it works in casting is you start as a casting assistant, and then you get promoted to an associate. And then if you're lucky, you become a casting director, which I did eventually. But when I was a casting assistant, my first job outside, not my first, but one of my first jobs outside of my, That's So Raven on Disney, when I left that, I worked for my boss, who I ended up working with for many, many years. That's the show that I worked on, or when I worked on Reba, and I worked on a bunch of different other CW pilots and ABC pilots, and I worked with so many different really, really cool people. They worked on Dawson's Creek. But Dawson's Creek shot in, you guys help me. Where did it shoot? North Carolina? Now I can't remember the city that it worked. It was, I want to say it was North Carolina, right? It was like in the South somewhere. And it was, so it was out of LA. And so the local, Wilmington, Thank you, Tiffany. So it was in the locals that were cast, meaning the smaller roles, like the little co-stars, and this is how casting, this is like a little behind the scenes of casting. It was the smaller roles, like the coffee shop guy or the person who just had a couple lines here and there. They were cast every week out of the local casting, you know, the smaller towns. But the bigger roles, the big guest stars, meaning the people that had larger chunks of roles, I mean, lines, or the people that had multiple episodes, recurring characters, people that had, 6 to 7 episodes or eventually became series regulars, that came out of our office. And we worked with Kevin Williamson. We shared an office with Kevin Williamson. So Kevin Williamson was the creator of Dawson's Creek. And I love Kevin. He was a great guy to work with. That was the coolest office that we worked in on Sunset Boulevard, right on the corner of Sunset Boulevard and Crescent Heights. It was like one of my first offices that I worked in, and worked with Kevin, had lunch with Kevin Williamson every single day. And it was such a fun experience just to learn from him and hear from him and just meet all of the people that were working on that show. And so I had like a very, very close connection to those years. But this was right at the beginning to the tail end of Dawson's Creek, right? It was like right at the end. It's 2003, 2004, right? So, um, but Dawson's Creek is like a moment in time. I mean, it's such an era. It's our history. And now I feel like I want to rewatch it as an adult. And last night, of course, they did this amazing reunion, and it was for Stand Up for Cancer, because James Vanderbeek, who played Dawson, sadly is really, really fighting this horrendous, I believe, colon cancer. And let me get the exact story up. And before I get into the story about James Vanderbeek and what he's fighting in last night, I want to share another little story about James. Lance, he works on Dancing with the Stars. And James Vanderbeek was on Dancing with the Stars a few seasons ago. And I'll never forget that when Lance was working on it, he comes home always and he tells me stories about when he worked on when he works on these shows. He always tells me like who's nice and who's kind of rude and who treats the crew really well and who doesn't. And I love getting those stories, and I'm not really able to share those stories too much with you guys, especially during the moment. But he always told me that James was so kind. He always said, James is so nice. He's so kind. He's so wonderful. He is like just genuinely a good person. And I'll never forget hearing that, because these people, you never know who they really are behind the scenes, and who they are to the crew is very, very important, because that's who they really are. It's not about who they are when the camera turns on. It's who they are behind the scenes. It's who they are to the random camera assistant or the PA. That's who you want to know. That's how we found out that Ellen DeGeneres was a piece of shit, right? It's not who they are when the camera turns on and they're like, be kind, and they'd start dancing and giving out all this cash. It's who you are when the cameras are not on. And so James Vanderbeek was truly a good person, and I loved hearing that. So since then, I've followed James Vanderbeek, and not to mention James Vanderbeek's wife is stunning, and their 6 kids are the Von Trapp family. I've never seen like a more perfect looking family. They're so gorgeous. Like, right? This family is gorgeous. Now, meanwhile, last night they had this amazing reunion. I thought it was so unbelievable and cool to watch. Talking about what we were talking about, yesterday with Blake Lively. I hate to, compare it, but she brought up these pictures of the Gossip Girl reunion a few days ago, of 18 years ago. And it's so different when you see pictures of that, because you know that they're not in touch. Like if you threw the Gossip Girl on a stage today, they wouldn't be all huggy and kissy and lovey and singy and all of that. But this cast and this crew, I actually think that there have been rumors that Katie Holmes and Michelle Williams haven't always got along. But I think everyone is able to put all their differences aside and all drama aside in this moment for the purpose of James and James Vanderbeek. James Vanderbeek, I'll show you guys on his Instagram. He had been posting about this for a while. Let me quickly share it with you guys because this was something he was really looking forward to. He said, oh, whoops, that's him and his wife. He said, this is the evening. Well, he posted this yesterday. This is the evening I'd been looking forward to most since my angel, Michelle Williams, said she was putting it together way back in January. So you can imagine how gutted I was when 2 stomach viruses conspired to knock me out of commission and keep me grounded at my worst possible moment. Now, he hasn't really been posting a lot online recently. He posts great if you don't follow James Van Der Beek, and I really hope and pray for him because he used to post these beautiful messages every few weeks or every few days that were so touching, really inspiring. So he's a great follow, but he said, I won't be able to get there. I won't be able to stand on the stage and thank every soul in the theater for showing up and against cancer when I need it most, but I do have an understudy. And he said, Lin-Manuel Miranda will be there as my understudy, which is kind of funny to say. Like Lin-Manuel Miranda will be Dawson. Now, I didn't really see in the pictures or anything. I didn't see Lin. I have no idea if he was actually there or not. But, go back. I will suggest that you go back and watch some of James Van Der Beek's videos, especially his long form like reels where he just talks. Like this is a great one, What Cancer Taught Me. It's pinned. It's from March 8th. It's a beautiful video. It really is. So go and do that. But in the meantime, here on page 6, it says James Van Der Beek makes a surprise appearance at Dawson's Creek reunion after dropping out. So he didn't actually make an appearance in person. Instead of him being able to be there, his whole family came, his wife and his kids came, but he did make an appearance via video. And I'm just going to warn you guys, it is really, really sad and shocking to see him if you haven't already seen him because he does not look very healthy. He actually looks very, very, very ill. And I was quite shocked and quite surprised and very saddened to see it because I have not seen him in a few weeks. And I think he's posted like 6 weeks ago. And it broke my heart. Truly, truly broke my heart. It said he expressed his regrets over missing the moment he had been looking forward to for months and months. And then it continues to say that he thanked his fans. He says, I can't believe I'm not there. I can't believe I don't get to see my beautiful cast in person. And he also praised the best fans in the world for showing up for the live reading of the first episode. That's what they did. They live read the first episode of Dawson's Creek. He said, it's absolutely humbling how much you did for this night. The proceeds benefited the F Cancer organization and his own colorectal cancer. That's what he has, colorectal. He says, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to every single person here. And then he went on to introduce his replacement, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Now, this is from Variety. This is the song of them all singing. This is incredibly, it made me tear up when I saw this. I hope you guys can see it from the X video here. Hold on, let me see if you can hear it. This may not be the best. Let's see if we can see it well. So the whole cast comes out. There, of course, I'm going to pause. There you have, can I make it bigger? Hold on. Yeah, great. Okay, you have Pacey, Joshua Jackson. Of course, you have Katie Holmes. You have Meredith Monroe. You have Kerr Smith. He's a little bit over to the left. I can't remember who the actor is on the right. Over here, walking on, though, is so sweet. You have his 2 daughters, one of the younger ones and one of the middle-aged ones, maybe one of the older ones, and they come out right now. On the left, you don't see them in the moment, but you have Michelle Williams, Busy Phillips, of course, 2 of the cast members. So now you have the entire cast, some of the older people from the cast, like the parents and the grandparents, whatever. I can't remember everyone's real life name. And now you have 2 of James Van Der Beek's kids, and they've come out with microphones. Okay, try not to cry.
So open up your morning light, say a little prayer for us. That if we are to stay alive, we'd see the peace in every eye.
Come on. And Joshua Jackson's on his knees. And as they're standing there, I'm just kind of like speaking it out for anyone that's just listening. They start they kind of wave over to the side, and then comes in the rest of his family. I'm telling you, I like can't handle it. Okay. I am like such an emotional mess about stuff like this, you guys. I really pray for him to see his face in that. He has such a beautiful family. I was like really stalking his photos this morning. I don't know if you guys were like this, but I was stalking his photos this morning. And I'm not to say like, oh, one person's family is like more important than the other, but when you look at his family, okay, number one, he has the most beautiful family in the entire world. But he has 6 kids, and he is so ill. I mean, he is clearly so ill, and I don't know like what the process is and where he's standing in terms of his treatment. I don't know how open they are about it. Geez, you guys, pray for him and anyone else that struggles. Cancer is so freaking devastating for these families, for anyone that struggles. Anyway, I'm praying for him. And that song, and why is there a line in that song that says, oh, someone like a son grows to know his father? Think about that. There's literally a line that says that in the beginning of the song. God dang it. Way to make us cry. I'm glad that was the first story. Okay. Everyone, take a deep breath. Prayers for him. Okay. Let's move on. Yeah. Let's move on. I thought it was a sweet story. And also I love that they're getting together for Dawson. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about Karen Reed. Everything that happened with Karen Reed last night. Yesterday. So Karen Reed is back in the driver's seat. And I am so happy about this. She deserves it after being really thrown around in the worst possible way by that town of Canton and by that horrible, what's it called? Corrupt, disgusting legal system over there. And I just really want to see her sue Judge Bev Canoni. Okay. Is that so hard to ask? But she's not yet. But yesterday the civil case started and it's a little confusing. And I was trying to watch Peter Tragos talk about it because he is, like I said, the lawyer, and it's because he is he's a master at the civil cases. He gets it more than anything. And he was trying to explain how yesterday her attorney was trying to, push a lot of like things onto the judge. And the judge wasn't very happy about it, but basically saying like, we're trying to do it all here. They're trying to do it locally and not make it a federal case because they're trying to make it so that it gets aired on TV. They want, or aired on cameras. They want us to be able to watch the trial. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. So do I. And I believe that we'll be able to watch it on camera, which I am so excited about it. Now, the official Karen Reed Instagram, which is being run by them, said the days of Karen Reed being on the defense are over. And I am so excited. And then also, Karen Reed, as of yesterday, this is official. She will be suing Brian Tully, Michael Proctor, Yuri Buchanan. I always say his name wrong. Brian Albert, Nicole Albert. Remember all of these people, right? In case anyone needs, federal should be aired. I don't remember which one I did wrong. There's one thing that she's trying to do so that it does get on camera. Okay. There's something that she's trying to do. I can't remember. Peter was trying to explain it, but like I was also making potatoes, like all kinds of potatoes. So my brain was a little all over the thing. Nicole Albert, Jennifer McCabe, House long until we can get Jen McCabe back up there. Okay. Matthew McCabe, Brian Higgins. You'll give me the ghost. Okay. How much do you like me? Okay. I want Brian Higgins. Brian Higgins, I can't wait for. And the town of Canton PD. Thank you. That's what I thought, Lee. I felt like I was going crazy right now. That's exactly what I thought. That state civil cases are aired and federal are not. That's exactly what I thought Peter had said yesterday. And now I was like questioning it, but I swear that's what he said. Now Colin Albert was not mentioned yet. And I don't know exactly. And I wonder why. But there are going to be more people brought too. They said even 10 more defendants. But she is basically like, this was all intentional. Every single, like, I want Michael Morrissey. Every single one of them came to her, basically came at her. They found a perfect person and they all said, you're the one. We're all pinning it on you. She was the perfect target. And literally one by one, they all decided, it's not us. It's not us. It's not us. It's not us. It's going to be her. And so she's going at it. She has nothing to lose. Nothing. I cannot wait for this. So we will be covering it as it continues. I don't know exactly the timeline, but don't worry. Daily Dose of Donna is on Karen Reed. Always. So don't you worry. Stick around here because this was what dreams were made of, like Hannah Montana. This is what dreams are made of. Hey now, hey now. Jane says they said awful things about her yesterday. Who? And who do I have to beat? So yes, one word, friends. Kathy says discovery. Can't wait for that. I want to see all the text messages. I want to see it all. For sure, we're going to see more text messages. For sure, we're going to see everything. I need to see it all. There's so much hiding. Do you guys know also for sure it's definite that Carrie Dever, we still don't know. I still don't know. I can't remember. My name is Donna Spaldana, so I really don't know. She is going to, she's no longer an official police department. She is officially a civilian, meaning she has officially, I don't know if she's been let go or resigned, but she no longer works for the Canton police or the Boston police. I can't remember which specific department she worked for, but she's out. So I'm very excited about that. And if you guys didn't hear the interview that Alan Jackson had on Billy Bush's, we talked about his statement about Jimmy Kimmel. By the way, I can mention a couple things about Jimmy Kimmel in just a second. We didn't talk about what he said about Karen Reed, but he went into detail and he said a little bit more detail about how he thinks John O'Keefe actually died. We had heard rumors about the garage, but what he specifically said was he thinks John O'Keefe died in the garage at a cement ridge. I can't remember the specific wording that he said. A cement, like something like a cement ledge. Maybe he used the word step. Patricia says step. Was it a step? I don't know, but I am so interested to see it because that throws off my entire theory of what happened. Because in my mind, he died in the gym on the gym equipment. I was convinced I had seen John O'Keefe's steps, and now I'm wondering about the 3 floors going up and down. So I wanna know exactly what's like, what is all that? Ugh, I just wanna see the movie already. I wanna see the movie, but not Elizabeth Banks movie because they didn't go and get Karen Reed's approval, remember that. Uneven cement step. You guys all have different words for it too. You're like ledge, stoop, ridge, ledge, cement, step, stoop, steep, step. Everyone's everyone. Oh my God, VV. If you ever see drunk guys fight that are fat, VV. If you ever see drunk guys fight that are fat, they're all over the place. What about that are not fat? I think if they're drunk, they're all over the place. I think we shouldn't fat shame these people. I think if they're just drunk, they're all over the place. Drunk fighters are just idiots. That's so funny. Um, yeah, Microdots always does a great reenactment, but I always thought it was down at the gym. So I'm so confused. Okay, well, I can't wait. This will be good. This gives us something to look forward to in life. Okay. And there's really not that much to look forward to because today was the rapture. And I keep waiting for, it to happen. But unless it happens anytime, like we're still here. Apparently there was a rapture happening at some point. All right, let's move on to our next story. But before we do, I want to remind you guys that uh that this show is brought to you by OLLIE Pet Food, because you know that if your dog could talk, they would beg for OLLIE. I showed you guys Wrigley yesterday. My dogs love OLLIE. If I can be 100% honest, I get OLLIE shipped to my house, and I had like a few days between shipments because I didn't time it out right. I had to like skip a shipment because I was traveling and I didn't want it to get here and sit outside because you need to immediately when you get it, it comes frozen. And so you need to either put it in your freezer or put it in your fridge. And I knew that it was going to get here when I was out of town. So I immediately, I pushed it a week, but then I was out of OLLIE for like 2 or 3 days. So I went to the market and I had to get a different kind of food. Guys, it was the worst thing possible for my dogs. Not only did they not like it, but it totally messed with their bodies. It messed with their stomachs. And we had a bad situation, digestion situation. Okay. OLLIE is the only food that I'm telling you my kids love. And Danielle, who's always in the live chat, she even sent me a DM yesterday of her sitting on the floor yesterday with OLLIE. Swear, Danielle, look, Donna, I use OLLIE after the pic I sent you. She sent me a selfie with her OLLIE. It's amazing. OLLIE is the bomb. So you guys, check out OLLIE with 5 protein-packed recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes or fresh turkey with blueberries. Even the pickiest eaters can't resist. You might think, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And it's probably true when it comes to OLLIE. You guys can get your welcome kit for any first timers. They send out your pup's first box with 2 weeks worth of meals, a free storage container for mess-free serving, and a guide of how to gradually switch them over to their new diet. You just have to fill out a 30-second quiz, and they'll create a customized meal plan based on your pup's weight, activity level, and other health info. Dogs deserve the best, and that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/dailydose. Tell them all about your dog and use code dailydose to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a happiness guarantee on the first box, so you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/dailydose and enter code dailydose to get 60% off your first box. Check it out. Also, guess what I'm wearing under here, you guys? You wanted to check it out. Guess what this bodysuit is? It's my Stay Body bodysuit. You wanted to see what it looked like. This is my Stay Body bodysuit. I know it sounds funny to say Stay Body bodysuit, but it really is my Stay Body bodysuit. I love my Stay Body bodysuit. It is the one that I can wear. There's no snaps under, but here's the thing. I just have to take off my overalls and pull down and go to the bathroom. Okay. There is no need to completely undress. And as you can see, it's not too tight. It doesn't roll. I have the thick tank top under. This is the cream color. Oh no, I'm wearing the white color. I also have a cream color. I have a black color. As you can see, the material is so like smooth and soft. It's not too tight. It doesn't give you any of the fat rolls, you know, those like bulging rolls in the back. It's very breathable and it's soft. It's not confining. It has that antimicrobial that actually breathes. It's even good for workout or maternity. It's perfect through every stage your bodies go through. We are done with contraptions that convince us that we need to squeeze into a tiny tube and reduce inches in order to be beautiful. You need this in your wardrobe. I am not kidding. So go to Stay Body and use code DailyDose to get 10% off. And she's a doser. So you're supporting a doser. Okay, let's move on and talk about the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and the Taylor Swift arrest of it all. So last night, an article comes out on TMZ about this arrest. We need to talk about this because something seems fishy about it. What do you guys think about this? Taylor Swift has been a little bit shady about this subpoena, and I don't get it. Just freaking get subpoenaed already. Unless you're like trying to hide something. You were clearly involved somehow in this procedure. You are not friends with Blake Lively. There's a reason. You obviously know something. Just freaking say it. I am getting over Taylor Swift. And I want to like Taylor Swift because I really was falling for her with this Travis Kelce Taylor Swift bullshit. But now I'm getting over her. Justice for Eugene. Thank you, Gwen. Always justice for Eugene. I'm freaking like I'm done. I'm done. Justice for Eugene for life. And now I'm pissed. Why is Taylor Swift playing this game? Does anyone understand why she's being so weird about it? Is she trying to protect something for herself? Is there a reason that we are not hearing we are not just getting a solid answer about this freaking stupid thing? Now, the article's been picked up by a few different places, but it got originally written by Star Magazine, okay? Then TMZ picked it up. Here it is on BuzzFeed. I don't know why I'm picking up BuzzFeed here, but it's the first thing that happened when I Googled it, okay? I'm not a big fan of BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed schmuzzfeed. But it says a man was arrested while allegedly trying to serve Taylor Swift with Justin Baldoni deposition papers. And it says on behalf of Justin Baldoni's lawyers. I don't know the first thing about being a process server, but I did see some people's comments saying, I am a process server and I have never tried to like break in. The idea of breaking in to a house to serve is ludicrous. Has anyone here ever been a process server? Honestly, someone tell me. Because are you allowed to break in to serve papers? Okay, it says process servers can enter private property to attempt service, such as walking up to their front door, but they are not allowed to break into a locked building or trespass. They must follow strict legal guidelines and cannot use physical force or coercion. Okay, so this person broke the law. I don't see in any world where Brian Friedman or any one of Justin Baldoni's attorneys, who are legitimate attorneys, you guys, he didn't hire these attorneys at Chuck E. Cheese. Let's be real. You may hate Brian Friedman. You may despise Justin Baldoni. You can hate every single person on this entire, crew or cast. But I don't believe that he asked this guy to break a law. So who is this guy? And we need to get to the bottom of this, okay? We need someone out there, not me, but someone out there to do the work, to figure out who the hell is this old retired cop who was serving these papers, because it surely doesn't seem like a legitimate process server. Okay? It says Justin's team claimed that Taylor was, hold on one second. It says, a man was arrested for criminally trespassing on Travis Kelce's property while allegedly attempting to serve Taylor Swift with deposition papers. Taylor's team has maintained that she has nothing to do with the case and she's trying to get out of it, but she did give some dates that she could. And then a judge then ruled on September 12th that Taylor would not be deposed in this case. But this happened on September 15th, shortly after 2 a.m. Now we know exactly where he lives on the it's the address is right here. I don't need to repeat it. It says the male was arrested on a misdemeanor charge of criminal trespassing, this adult male. We know his name officially. This is all reported in Star Magazine. What the hell? Justin Lee Fisher is the guy, a former cop turned private eye. I'm surprised they didn't call him Justin Schmaldoni. Let's Google him. I mean, everything is just going to be about this. Oh, now we have inmate detail. I've never looked up an inmate detail. Oh, he's been arrested multiple times. Is this him? Because this is so scary. Is he gonna? This is him. Can you guys see it? You guys, this is a criminal. I don't think this is the guy. Sorry, I'm just looking. This is his booking history. This feels like just a freaking freak of nature. How do we know for sure that he is the guy? Or he is a process server and he has the actual papers? Do we know for real? Hold on. Let's go back to this article on Star. Justin Lee Fisher, a former cop turned private eye, was caught at the house. According to, he was, and the reporting person was identified as the head of executive protection for a Nashville-based security firm. The details of the incident were suspiciously missing from the one-page document, stating in bold letters, this information is restricted as to use and dissemination. However, an additional court document obtained exclusively by Star confirms Fisher has been charged with jumping the fence. I'd be happy to talk to you when it is resolved, Fisher told Star via text message. I wasn't hurt or anything besides being arrested for doing my job and possibly losing my private eye. What? Authorities are refusing to disclose criminal investigation records pertaining to the case. Fisher declined to comment further. He is due back. Okay, it says Fisher worked as a cop in the Fort Scott, Kansas Police Department from 2013 to 2021 before becoming a part of the law enforcement officer until 2023 when his license was revoked for 5 years following a domestic incident with his wife. Okay, who the hell? And since then, he's been arrested 3 times. This is weird, you guys. Something is so shady. And has Justin Baldoni's team, no one has spoken back about it, huh? They haven't responded. Something feels very, very, very off. I think that so Elsie has I'm trying to kind of look up on TMZ if Brian, I'm sure you guys would know if Brian Friedman has responded or anyone has responded, which I don't think they have. I think that what Elsie has said is that she's like, something feels shady because why wouldn't they just immediately try to subpoena Venable? Why in the world would Brian Friedman and team, Ellen Garofalo, all these smart attorneys, why in the world would they try to run over to Travis Kelce's home at 2 a.m., send this guy over a fence? Yes, we have one of the biggest pop stars in the world. No, the biggest pop star in the world and the biggest football player in America. Yes, please break into their house at 2 a.m. while she is scared shitless because, there was just one of the biggest political assassinations where a man just died She's scared of her life right now. Yes, this makes sense. Please, please. Something feels so off about this. I think something is wrong here. I need more information. TMZ is not saying anything about it other than that, right? They're just reporting Star Magazine. I think we need to get some more information. But this is like already, I'm seeing a big, big shift online. And I don't know if you guys are seeing this too, if you're talking about it. So yesterday I spoke, or on Sunday, I spoke about the Gossip Girl post. And wow. Most people on TikTok are still firmly like anti-Blake. Most. But I saw a good portion of people starting to be like, leave her alone. Okay. Threads. Threads is psycho. Threads is the wildest thing I've ever seen. Ever. Threads is wackadoodle time. Okay. The way that they attacked me for writing to just speaking about the Gossip Girl post. Like as if this is not my job. Okay. And then I started to realize I do believe there is a shift in the content right now. There's a shift in the content out there that is, oh, this is interesting. Your guys' comments are interesting. There's a shift in the content out there, or the commentary, where it's really, really turning against Justin Baldoni right now. Because it's too many losses for Justin Baldoni, one after another, that people are just getting so confused. They just don't understand how Justin Baldoni could be innocent if you're losing over and over and over and over and over and over. And it just doesn't make sense to the public that's not paying attention. You start to say, well, he must be guilty because nothing good is happening to him. You start to say, like, if you're getting so many L's in the court, obviously something's wrong. It's this happens in like world news too. Obviously, you're doing something wrong if you're constantly getting all these L's. It's also a PR spin. They're not working right now. Justin Baldoni is not working to like spin his image in any way. He's not hiring PR to spin image, but I think Blake is. I think Blake is hiring a lot of people right now to spin her image, major. And that's just my official feeling. Now, you guys are saying in the comments, a lot of you, that the reporter of the Star Magazine article has ties to Ryan, that you think maybe the person that is doing this maybe has a connection to the person that was stalking Steve Sarawitz's daughter. Who knows? I mean, there could be a million ties. Who knows? But what I thought was really interesting was this thread from Ruby Rose, who I don't pay attention to. I don't care to pay attention to. But because like I really, no offense. I mean, I just don't. But she posted on my favorite place, and that's Threads. I hate to mention that I had to go here for this, but she posted on Threads about this smear website about Brian Friedman. Now, her issue about this is because she was in a legal battle and Brian Friedman was the attorney against her. She said the Baldoni legal team, this was 16 hours ago. I'll show you guys the post. She said the Baldoni legal team, Brian Friedman, who was one of at least 6 lawyers against me in a Warner Brothers sitch, sent a private investigator, Brian's fave tool to scare people, to break into Okay, number one, it wasn't a private investigator, girl. So get your facts right. To break into Travis Kelce's property at 2 a.m. and give her a deposition document, despite the courts recently shutting their request down. He needs to be investigated for his antics. Frightening. Okay. So she's saying that he sent a private investigator, and then she linked this article. I don't believe he's a private investigator, this Fisher guy. Does it say that he's a private investigator anywhere? He's a former cop. Oh, because he has a private investigator license. That's why she's saying that. Okay. Well, that's ridiculous. I mean, I don't think this process server did anything right. I think he's completely wrong in everything he did, but I don't know. This is a bad look for all. I have to be honest. I just don't understand where it officiated or like where it started. Now, she pulled up this one website. She goes, lots of similarities in this wild case where a poor girl has been accused of being abused and not being public about it. Brian sure had a style. Brute force, which I'm sure he used back when. Oh, here's a website. I didn't make it. I wish I had. And then she goes to this. Who is the real Brian Friedman? And this website is incredibly similar to the same, Stephanie Jones leaks or Stephanie Jones lies website. I have no idea who made this website. I have no idea who created, when it started, when it didn't. I don't know shite about this website. But it says, who is the real Brian Friedman? Brian Friedman wants to bury his past. Now, I will never forget that when I started reporting on this case, I was getting inundated like crazy with certain people's DMs, like so much that I ended up having to block certain people because it was incessant. It was nonstop. It was about 5,500 times a day sometimes from people. Like it was constant. It was the same few people that were sending me over and over how Brian Friedman is dangerous. He is horrible. He is, disgusting. He has been, unethical, et cetera, because of this one story that keeps coming up from his past. And essentially what the story is, you know, I mean, these are all bad articles about Brian Friedman, which, by the way, if you are a public person and a public attorney and or just a public person, I think that you're probably going to have some bad stuff about you out there. This was the article that they refer to, and it's talking about, this was from what year? This was from 2022, November 2022. And this was when he represented Gabrielle Union and FKA Twigs. I believe that was against Shia LaBeouf in an SA case. It says that he paid out $120,000 secret settlement after being accused of luring and gang raping a 17-year-old girl at his frat house when he was in college. So this is about a story that happened in 1985. Okay. And it talks about the fact that in 1985, or I guess 1991, he paid a chunk of $120,000 settlement on the eve of the case going to court in 1991, but neither he, his friends, nor their fraternity admitted any liability. Okay. I don't know a lot about the story. Do I think this is a good look for him? Absolutely not. Do I like this about him? Absolutely not. As you know, I reported on John Hamm's horrendous behavior when he was in college back in the 80s. It's not great, right? But I also believe that doesn't, just because you have a little bit of a checkered past, that doesn't mean that you are not able to represent people in the court of law and can be a good attorney. And it's not relevant to the case. And it's just trying to discredit Justin Baldoni for some reason. It's not relevant. Brian Friedman, for who he is as a human being in 1985. I mean, you guys have to remember that is 40 years ago. 40. Like, truthfully, 40 years ago. So, do I love that story? No. Do I think that makes him like the most honorable human being in the entire world? No. But he's a celebrity attorney. Like, do I think that he's like this, like a preacher? like someone that I would assume is like, the man that I'd want or, my boys to be raised by maybe. No. But it's different. He's an attorney. Like you kind of want a bulldog guy. Like you don't want this is not the man that I'm like, "Oh, I want to pray to him." I don't know. It's just different. So, it seems more of a smear campaign situation. And if you're looking at facts and if you're looking at bad behavior and if you're looking at all of that, like, sorry, but Ryan and Blake have so much bad behavior behind them. Yeah, maybe they don't have that story, but also Brian Friedman is not a defendant in this case. Brian Friedman is not on the stand. He is representing Justin Baldoni. So why are we spending our time and energy and focus on the attorney? Why aren't we spending our time and energy and focus on the defendants if you really want to smear someone? Try to find some evidence that Justin Baldoni is a sexual harasser or created an unsafe environment for Blake. Try to find some evidence that Jamie Heath is a problem or that any of those women created a problem for you. Try to find actual evidence relevant to this case and not muddy the waters that everyone on that side is just bad. They're actually really good at what they do. They may not be great humans, but they're good at what they do. You can't deny that. Brian Friedman is a great attorney. There's a reason that we all knew the name Brian Friedman coming into this case, and none of us knew the name Michael Gottlieb. Brian Friedman is hired over and over and over and over by every single celebrity in every big case. And there's a reason for that because he's damn good at what he does. That's that. They're so annoying. So now, meanwhile, apparently the talent agents are getting deposed. The makeup artists are getting deposed. Everyone's getting deposed. Anyway, that's it. Is there any other stories? Any other big stories of the day? I think that's it. Okay. Oh, I see this article on I'm going to go over this with you guys. This is a Daily Mail exclusive, meaning you have to be a paid. This is for any Dancing with the Stars fans. It says Dancing with the Stars exclusive for Daily Mail Plus. Should I go over it with you guys? Are you Dancing with the Stars fans? I'm not going tonight, no. Dancing with the Stars drama explodes. Cast are miserable. Concerned families say smiles on screen are fake. And producers are forced to issue a warning. You want me to talk about Kimmel? Ugh, every time I talk about Kimmel, people run away from me. I don't know. People are very sensitive about Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. Laughing in behind the scenes TikTok videos, Corey Feldman and Jenna Johnson could easily fool fans into thinking they're the perfect pairing. But all the TikTok tomfoolery is masking Johnson's struggles, not only with Feldman's lack of dance experience, but also his work ethic. After all, the actor missed rehearsals for 5 days. Johnson's brother-in-law, Maxim Chermovsky, has laid bare the difficulty she is facing, demanding she be shown the respect she deserves. All the cast show up, all smiles and say how great they are together and we're friends and blah, blah, blah. But that's surface. Sometimes it's not the case. Obviously, Jenna has a bit of an uphill climb with Corey, which is easy for everybody to say from the outside, but I know she's having a much more difficult time with this entire thing, and to the point that it's really difficult for her. So I wish her all the best. It says Val and Jenna are miserable. This is about, oh my gosh, apparently Val, who is with Alex Earl, is also miserable. Val, Alex Earl's partner, is also miserable. It says Val is also miserable, but we are not supposed to complain about our celebrity participants. Interesting. It says, don't forget this production is not just about you and your partner dancing. It's about the massive behemoth behemoth of everything that's happening, etc. So apparently Jenna Johnson is miserable and Val is miserable. Okay, so apparently Corey Feldman is hard and Alex Earl is hard. What's the big deal? They're just okay. Insiders previously told the Daily Mail that this season is a shit show. I'm not hearing this, you guys. Like, I don't know who's making this up. Are they just trying to get more people to watch? Because I am not hearing this. No one else is saying this is the craziest, most insane article ever with no real facts. Like, talk about clickbait. Don't believe everything you guys read. Don't believe everything you guys read. The earth is flat. Come on. JK. I hope everyone has an amazing day. Thank you so much for subscribing. Did you subscribe and did you like? Right now, I'm going to wait. Just click it. It's not hard. Just click. Click, 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 click. I adore you guys. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Wednesday's show. I have a guest tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye. Oh, I got a super sticker and I didn't even shout it out. Thank you, Victoria, for the super sticker. Adore you. Talk to you guys later. Bye.